contents and revelations that I'm about to share in this vlog will most certainly stretch the worldview or belief system of some. Therefore, if you are deeply religious, easily frightened, closed-minded, think you know everything, think that you are inherently superior, well, I will save you the time and energy. Do not bother watching the rest of this vlog. Those of us who are open-minded, curious, or hunger for knowledge and wisdom, please proceed. Thank you in advance for engaging and sharing this moment with me. For me, traveling beyond the veil has been the greatest education on earth. I've learned firsthand that nothing is really solid or fixed, and that everything that lives on earth has an opportunity to evolve itself beyond their present 3D state. The 3D state is a great starting point to evolve due to the extreme conditions here that can push us to the limits and in turn intensify and accelerate retribution, learning, and growth. I've learned that having vast knowledge does not equate wisdom, but having vast knowledge from experience is wisdom. Countless beings have begun their evolution on this state and have evolved into forms, bodies, and expressions that corresponds with their evolution, wisdom, and state of consciousness. I'm not just talking about humans either. If you happen to be one who thinks that animals are stupid, lowly creatures, you had better think again. Animals are simply operating on a different vibration, and therefore they use a form that corresponds with the frequency that their consciousness is on. Many animals on Earth are more evolved in consciousness than most humans on this planet. This is because they live in the now, and generally speaking, they take only what they need. I mean, do you know of any animal group that goes around killing, terrorizing, and creating havoc on their own soul kind or soul group for the hell or sport of it? How many animals literally destroy and poison the land that they travel, sleep, and dwell in or on? Animals are in perfect harmony with the earth, the elements, and the many other insects, animals, and beings, contrary to their purpose, form, expression, and experience. But I digress. This video is more about the animal forms that I have seen in a higher level form by way of astral traveling. This is definitely going to come across as crazy or impossible in the minds of those who don't have a point of reference or those who have bought into the hype. In the grand picture, there are super wise and spiritual beings who are bipedals, but have heads that look identical to earth animals. Here's just a couple of drawings that I had done to depict higher level beings in the feline family. And yes, I had seen these beings with my own mind's eye. Female cat-like entity, gray Persian in appearance, non-emotional but has a warm presence. From what I could read, she communicates by way of telepathy. No, she didn't have a tail. This being had a blue, lion-like face, large heart-shaped head, and his eyes were fire red. He communicates by way of telepathy, and although he may appear intimidating, his vibration was very warm and inviting. From the canine family, I've seen bipedal beings with heads that look like this. Ironically, I had seen the female cat entity and a hound dog beetle-like entity on the same realm within the same space. Could it be that felines and canines on a higher and more evolved level of consciousness really do coexist in harmony? Again, I digress. Let's get back to the subject matter at hand. In the bird family, I've seen a female entity that looked much like this. I had literally seen a hawk-like entity that looked exactly like this ancient carving. I feel compelled to share in brief what I had observed upon the revelation of such a being. When I had seen the being who looked identical to this, he was towering behind 5 Caucasian, in appearance, teenagers. This scene was taking place in what appeared to be wooded area at night in front of a campfire. The teens appeared to be afraid of something as they huddled and clung to one another. Although they were definitely projecting fear, they were looking outward and seemed totally oblivious of the Birdman entity standing behind them. The entity suddenly began chanting in a strange language. I could hear him telepathically while flapping his wings up and down. The next thing I knew, 3 of the teens disappeared. I became overwhelmed by this and lost the connection and instantly came back to my physical, earthly, 3D body. I had no idea what I was observing or witnessing or where I had spontaneously traveled to. All throughout history, our indigenous and ancient ancestors depicted animals in human form. Many of our ancestors had a reverence, respect, and honor for animals, and for very good reasons. People assume that our ancestors depicted animals in human form as a symbolic vice, but I don't think this is the case. I think that our ancestors were spiritually aware and connected enough to decode the greater reality and actually communicated with these highly evolved beings all of the time. Had I not seen some of these higher level beings with my own mind's eye, I would probably buy the symbolism answer too, but of course, I don't buy it. It is absolutely staggering to have witnessed these things, and even still, I am a baby in wisdom and knowledge. Just imagine the insane vastness and possibility of it all. I've said it before, and I will keep saying it. Reality is far more fluid and infinite than meets the human eye. We are eternal consciousness, and so is every being in creation. Those of us who abuse, mistreat, and brutalize animals for whatever the reason, just know that you are only hurting yourself in the end. Animals are here to learn and teach because, like us, they have evolved into greatness, and those behind or below their ilk is evolving towards the same potential.